All right, guys, welcome back in. All right, it is Slaughterhouse Sports, and I wanted to talk about Dillon Gabriel, quarterback who's now going to the University of Oregon, and I even have my Oregon shirt for this video. So Dillon Gabriel, they end up getting a veteran quarterback. You end up getting a guy that has won a ton of games at Oklahoma, that has played in a high-pressure situation, and that has started for what felt like 4 or 5 seasons. Dillon Gabriel at UCF, he seceded. I think that's a term. Succeeded Mackenzie Milton, also a Hawaiian native. All right. And I'm going to read you all of Dillon Gabriel's statistics, but what I'm going to say is that Dillon Gabriel is a very accurate passer. He has a very quick release. He's 5'11", 6 feet, so he's not the tallest guy in the world, but he's a very accurate passer, but he also hunts big plays. I mean, Oklahoma, I just assumed that they probably led the country in big play rate. Because Dillon Gabriel, even though he doesn't have like the arm of a Michael Penix as a lefty, he's throwing the ball a good 50, 45 yards, and he's constantly giving his guys chances to win, and he's constantly searching for the explosive play. So I'm going to read you guys all of his statistics, okay, as a quarterback, including his win-loss record. And this move for Oregon, I do like the move. Now, a part of me also feels for Ty Thompson. A part of me feels for Austin Novosad. And really, it's Ty Thompson because Ty Thompson has waited 2 years behind Bo Nix. However, Dan Lanning, Will Stein, Junior Adams, Drew Mehringer, Carlos Lachlan, that entire offensive staff has seen Ty Thompson every day in practice. Okay, and if Ty Thompson was wowing them in practice to the point where they are not going to move on a quarterback and pay out top dollar for Dillon Gabriel, then that would have revealed itself during practice. This is a win-loss business. This is a production-based business, all right? And it is unfortunate in ways, you know, Ty Thompson kind of bid his time. However, Oregon feels that they have a better chance to win with Dillon Gabriel, and that's not exactly an offense to Ty Thompson. Dillon Gabriel is probably a top 7 quarterback in all of college football. He was responsible for winning the Red River Shootout, okay, in Dallas, Texas, at the Cotton Bowl. He came back and led that incredible drive, all right, Dillon Gabriel did, to win that rivalry game. He threw for 30 touchdowns this year, 6 interceptions, had a QBR of 87.3, and has thrown for 3,700 yards. All right? So, when we look at his statistics overall as a quarterback at UCF, he played 2 years with Josh Heupel, who's one of the best offensive, coaches in the country, who's now at Tennessee. He played with Josh Heupel. He had Jeff Lebby there as his offensive coordinator as well at UCF. I think he even had the South Florida coach, a Russian native coach, that is a really smart guy who's now at South Florida. You guys can look that up as well. Threw for 32 touchdowns and 29 touchdowns playing in the American Conference. Okay, he's never thrown for more than 7 interceptions in a season, which is really efficient. His completion percentage has always been 60% as a passer, Dillon Gabriel. All right, and this year it's not like they had CeeDee Lamb. It's not like they have decent receivers at Oklahoma. They're fine, but it's not like you're going to have a guy drafted in the 1st or 2nd round. So for Oregon, they feel that it's necessary that with the quarterbacks in the room being Novosad and Ty Thompson, they feel it's necessary to go out there and get a big-time transfer quarterback like Gabriel. And from a winning perspective, it is really nice. From feeling for Ty Thompson, you do. Because Ty Thompson has put in 3 years of loyalty to the program. He has developed, I think, under Will Stein and Dan Lanning. And I think that he will enter the transfer portal. And I think he will make for a decent quarterback. I really do. Ty Thompson was developed by, Kenny Dillingham and Will Stein, and the guy has mobility. He has decent arm strength, Ty Thompson. He's tall at 6'2". It's just that Dillon Gabriel, unfortunately for Ty Thompson, he couldn't compete with the on the field product of Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel is a proven commodity. He's thrown for 30 touchdowns in 4 years. He has 4 years of playing experience, and he's just come off of a season in which Oklahoma was a 10-win team, 10-2, and 10-2 team, and this was his best year statistically at Oklahoma, and he's a very efficient quarterback, and he works in this Will Stein offense. Will Stein worked with Frank Harris. Frank Harris is also like a 27-year-old, 30-year-old PhD. Frank Harris of UTSA, the quarterback for Texas San Antonio, is the oldest quarterback in the Power 5, who's 24 years old. Now, I like the rule. I like the 6-year rule for these college guys, and I'll explain why. But first, I'm going to tell you about Frank Harris. Frank Harris is also undersized at like 5'11", 6 feet, has a little bit of mobility like Gabriel, but also plays in a point guard style offense, meaning get the ball out quickly, all right? Get the ball out quickly, not going to have the biggest arm in the world, not like, has some mobility, but is a rhythm, quick game thrower that can hit screens, that can hit slants all day long, can utilize space, quick twitch, and can make decisions. And I really like that quarterback, and that quarterback works really at the college level. That point guard style quarterback is excellent, especially at the college level, and that's what Bo Nix was really this year. Bo Nix, I think he has a good arm. I mean, Bo Nix can chuck it, a decent amount, but Bo Nix is not the tallest guy, kind of like Gabriel. And when you compare Bo Nix's arm to maybe like a Caleb Williams, to maybe a Michael Penix, or even Jaden Daniels, those guys, throwing the ball down the field, their ball doesn't die when it, when you look at the deep ball. So Bo Nix was a really good college quarterback, very, very effective quarterback, played pretty well in the big games. Bo Nix is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time at Oregon. He stabilized the program. He won big games, and he was very, very efficient, Bo Nix. And he succeeded expectations. At Auburn, he would try to improvise and do too much. Then he just became a point guard at the University of Oregon. Dillon Gabriel at this point is a lot more further along than Bo Nix was coming out of Auburn. All right? So, I really hope Bo Nix is drafted early in the draft, and I hope that he gets to a place where he can, utilize play action, where it can be an efficient quarterback at the NFL level. I think Bo Nix actually has some talent to do so. In terms of him like throwing over the middle of the field, utilizing Ferguson. His throwing motion, like Dillon Gabriel, is a very crisp, and the throwing motion is very compact. So that's what I really like about Bo Nix, is accuracy, compact motion, competitive nature. Dillon Gabriel, too, in the biggest moments, is very calm. Very calm, mature, really good leader by all accounts. People really like him. So, again, you have the, Hawaiian pipeline going to Oregon, and Dillon Gabriel is just going to probably be a really good fit and a really good commodity for the University of Oregon. Now let's talk about expectations for the 2024 year, and I'm also going to talk about who Oregon has as wide receivers. So, Dillon Gabriel, at this time, Dillon Gabriel is a 6-year senior. I like the 6-year rule because guys can get paid more money at the college level. Sometimes they don't work out at the pro level. All right? And it gives guys a chance to get master's degrees and PhDs. It sets you up better for life. It can also, when you get a bachelor's degree, you have more time in your master's program to dedicate to football, so that when you're going to the NFL, maybe going to XFL, when you're going to professional ball, you have that another year of experience. It allows you to mature. It allows guys that if they don't work out at their first stop, it allows players the opportunity to find their groove in their senior season. And also the money that they're making as fifth-year players is substantially higher than what they might be making as undrafted players in the NFL. And you see guys go into the NFL too early and they do not work out. Or you see guys go into the NBA too early, it doesn't work out, and then they're left scrambling and they're going in as 19, 20-year-olds. And the difference between a 19-year-old and a 23-year-old can be a very substantial difference. It allows growth, promotes staying in college. It rewards you getting a master's program by staying in college. And if you're upset with fifth-year seniors, if you think that kids are staying in school too long, it actually evens out the playing field because you can go out there and you can get fifth-year seniors to transfer to your school. So coaches complaining about that, I don't always agree with. So I'm going to now read you guys the wide receivers that will be coming back. So Tez Johnson might have a graduate year, might come back. I think that he's actually going to go to the NFL. I think he's going to get a third-round grade. If Tank Dell was a third-rounder at 5'8", Tez Johnson's about 5'10", 5'11". I know Tank Dell is really fast. Tez Johnson's one of the fastest wide receivers in college football. In fact, Tez Johnson can even go as high as a second or a third-round grade. Runs tremendous routes. His ability to break tackles, his ability to cut is sensational. I know that people will get caught up in that he played at Troy. He played in the Sun Belt for a couple of years. Doesn't matter. He balled out against Pac-12 competition. So Tez Johnson working with Dillon Gabriel would be a huge luxury for Oregon. Troy Franklin is going to be a first-round wide receiver. He's one of the best receivers that we've seen at Oregon. Total stud, comes down with 50-50 balls, runs crisp routes, 6'1" kind of frame. But for next year, Justice Lowe hit the transfer portal. Trayshawn Holden is a senior. He might have eligibility remaining. All right. Jerion Dickey, number 99. It's funny that he's 99, like a lineman number. Interesting number choice. Jerion, to me, out of, where was he? Palo Alto, California. I compared him to A.J. Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, the guy is a monster. The guy is 6'2", incredibly strong, really physical, wins at the catch radius, and was a standout high school player that just continued to rise throughout his time. Kyler Casper enrolled early. His dad was a really good wide receiver at the University of Iowa, even played in the National Football League. Kyler is a very tall wide receiver with very good ball skills. I'll tell you Kyler's height and weight right here. Kyler Casper is a 6'6" wide receiver, okay? And he's a matchup problem on the outside. I expect Kyler to hopefully have a role. So you have two of those wide receivers on your roster. Holden might come back. A lot of guys have hit the transfer portal, okay, from this roster. But coming in, you have Dylan Gresham, who's a wide receiver that I think as a freshman can be really, really good. He's coming into the fold. So you have like two or three, with Jerion Dickey being really good, Kyler Casper, possibly Tez Johnson, Terrence Ferguson's a junior, one of the best tight ends, I think, in college football. And then you have at running back, Jordan James is definitely coming back, who could definitely be a bell cow, RB1. Bucky Irving remains to be seen what he's going to do. He could probably go to the draft and be a 4th or 5th round pick. Bucky can be a guy that could compete for a starting running back spot in the NFL. But that's who we got, guys. Dillon Gabriel going to Oregon. I love the fit. It's a big-time move. We're also going to make a video about other Oregon players that are also around in the portal. But Oregon now has a chance to compete for a Big Ten championship immediately. You now have a quarterback that, as your schedule's going to get harder, and as you're going to go into the Big Ten and be playing teams in unfamiliar territory, you have a proven commodity and somebody that you feel comfortable with. Also for Will Stein, who's a young offensive coordinator, Dillon Gabriel can show and highlight what Jeff Lebby has, put in place. And Dillon Gabriel can also be that CEO type of quarterback like Bo Nix. And Dillon Gabriel, knock on wood for good health, Dillon Gabriel can be a steady and solid quarterback and somebody that you trust going in the game day, and somebody that if all the pieces are right, Oregon can compete immediately again for a national championship and won't take a dip even though they lost one of the great offensive players in 2023 in Bo Nix. So there you guys go. We reported it the other day about Dillon Gabriel, and now Dillon Gabriel is officially an Oregon Duck. There is more news on Oregon's front. Stay tuned for the videos, guys. Thank you guys for watching.